Hey, beautiful souls. I'm here to give you this quick prophetic message that I received this morning that some of you guys could be experiencing. I just basically wanted to let you know, like, in the first dream that came through, it came through as if I was at somebody's house visiting their house, right? And then as I was visiting their house, it was like someone from the past had came looking for me in regards to, I got a feeling it was a sense of urgency or needed my help in a sense. So as I was at this person's house visiting, it's like the individual from the past had also came in too, but the person whose house I was visiting, they weren't comfortable with that person being in their house. So in other words, they showed up unexpectedly. So I say all that to say that in a dream I could tell that the homeowner was a little, she came in a form as if she was um how can I say it, like she felt unease because this person's presence was there. So anyway, with that being said, it basically, but she didn't ask them to leave. That was the funny thing about it, was she didn't ask them to leave because she knew that, I guess, if she wanted them to leave, that mean that I also had to leave too. So take that how it resonates. That, that's how it came through. That may not be necessarily how it manifests down, like in, in reality, should I say, but because it could just come in a form of, this could be a situation that's transpiring spiritually rather than physically, and it could be physically for some people, and spiritually for others. So the next message that I received was, it came in a form of as if this same person from the past or whatever, it's almost like their eyes were, okay, so if you guys remember the movie from oh, what is that movie? Young Frankenstein, when the guy who had the hunchback, I forgot his name. The guy who had the hunchback, well, his eyes were like, cockeyed or whatever the case may be. And that's no, I'm not making fun of it, but I'm just trying to describe to you what exactly I saw in the dream. So it came as in a form as if this person's eyes were kind of similar to his, like the left one, it was like over to the left, and the right one was like up at an angle, to the right or whatever the case may be. But in other words, it wasn't really focused. So to me, that was a representation. Thank you, Spirit. A representation of, like, spiritual disorientation in a sense, like a mental spiritual disorientation, like a little confused about what to do, how to move, how to navigate. Like one minute is this, the next minute is that, and it's not a matter of being consistent, but it's all the inconsistency that seems to confuse some of you guys. And as I told you guys before, God said basically just go with the flow of the matter. So one day it could be this energy, the next day it could be another energy, and that just depends on, as the planetaries shift into different energies, because sometimes we have a full moon, sometimes we have a, you know um we have other moons or whatever, and the moons usually shift like every 2 days. um if you guys look up astro seek, thank you, Spirit, if you guys look up like astro seek, and it shows you like the different various of when the moons kind of shift, should I say, because they go into different astrological signs probably like every 2 days or whatever the case may be. So it just depends on what energy we in. And that's part of the reason why we should just go with the flow, because it's not a set energy that we're dealing with. And not only that, but God source spirit is also orchestrating, certain things too, divine timing, and and his will is being done as well too. So keep that in mind as well. But everything has its purpose, everything have its reason. I know sometimes, like I said before, sometimes we're dealing with past energy, and then we're in the present moment, we're feeling good, and then all of a sudden that energy draws us back again to the past or whatever the case may be. It's just meant to, that happens because one or two things that's part of the reason why that's happening is because it's almost like it gives you a moment to process what it is that you're processing, and then you move forward from that energy. It's just showing you how to expect the unexpected, but not to get too stuck into that energy. So sometimes that, when planetary shifts happen, it shifts us out of that energy that puts us back into the present moment, and we start thinking about the future and so on and so on. But then let's just say a couple of days later, a couple of weeks later, or even a month later, we get pulled back into that same energy again. That's because we haven't completely healed whatever it was that was underneath the surface. And remember, as I said before, that some of these things are happening and they are being done sporadically rather than giving you a full dose of medicine like at one time, in a sense. So it's like giving you, like a person who would take medicine, let's just say hypothetically, somebody's taking antibiotics. Well, they have to take antibiotics, let's say twice a day or whatever the case may be. Or, it just depends. Sometimes it could be 3 times a day, let's just say hypothetically, but to address whatever ailment or situation that's taking place at that time. So again, having the different various times is kind of like it's slowly but surely giving you the healing in the process of doing things, rather than again just having one big major blow, and then to the point, thank you spirit, to the point that I'm hearing like it shocks your system, it overloads you, and it could be too much to even handle at all. So anyway, so keep that in mind too. I just saw that some people was just, going through a phase of, and yes, it's just a phase of just going through just like disorientation, like mental disorientation in a sense, but just feeling confused. Like again, 1 minute is this, 1 minute is that, just the back and forth. And that's why I said before, if you don't, because I know some of you guys are choosing to move forward and choosing to go with the divine's plan. But one thing you have to understand was going with the divine's plan, you have to expect the unexpected. And not only that, but don't put God in a box to what it is like he can do. Because thank you, spirit. Because what's coming to mind is some people will say, well, God wouldn't do that, or God wouldn't do that. We're in a different day and we're in different times, and we're no longer in, old energies. Although some old energies does come up from the past, especially during retrograde, that's giving us time to redo things over, should I say. But more importantly, it's a matter of again, just not putting God into a box and expect the unexpected, like getting outside of yourself and understanding that there's a bigger world here at hand, and God is so bigger than what so many people put, kind of, he's so bigger than what so many, he's bigger than, he's way bigger than how people perceive him, should I say. Anyway, so the last message that came through was alchemy, right? So alchemy, it was like a matter of, you guys need to transmute that energy. Sometimes we have situations that we have to have the darkness, and without the darkness, we can't have light. Without light, we can't have darkness. So they coexist with each other. It's like we have to have, there's situations of we don't feel well, but then we feel well. It's a matter of balancing the two or whatever. So, yeah. So anyway, just apply it to your situation, whatever it is that you need to, um, whatever it is that you need to transmute in a sense, whether I'm hearing spirit say mindset. For some of you, it may be a mindset, it may be a thought process. It could be needing to see things from a different perspective. It could be a situation, thank you spirit, with relationships. It could be a situation of, old mindset, thank you spirit, seeing things from trying to transmute that negative energy. And what I'm spirit is giving me an image right now, like transmuting generational traumas or curses or wounds that need to be healed, like that needs to be transmuted in a sense. In other words, so I'll say this because what I'm hearing spirit say is like, you are not your father's keeper, in other words. So in other words, you don't have to do the things that maybe your father or your mother did or whatever the case may be. God is here to show you that you're an individual, so you come to do your own will and your purpose. So whatever it is that you, or however it is you may saw your dad move or your mom move, does not mean that you have to follow in their footsteps in a sense. Um, those times are over with. It's almost like you're meant to transmute that energy and move away from that energy, and keep that not to keep that same energy going, should I say. In other words, because when you keep that energy going, it's almost like you keep, if you have kids, if you have kids, it's almost like you keep that same energy going even with your own kids. So anyway, so again, uh those are all the messages that I received. So just know, and like I said before, just try to go with the flow of things. Like I said, I know it seems like it's up and down. Just expect the unexpected. When you expect the unexpected, you're least. Oh God, I'm a little tongue twisted. That Mercury retrograde, you're a little less. Um, you'll be a little less find yourself being disappointed, should I say. So because when we hold on to attachments of to outcomes, like like, well, we shouldn't be going through this every few days. Well, it happens. Again, if you look at astroseek.com, you'll see exactly how the how we shift into different energies throughout the different zodiac signs. And yes, we all kind of have different energies within our natal charts, should I say. So I say all that to say, when we shift into, let's just say, Cancer season, or we shift into Cancer energy, wherever it is that you have Cancer in your chart, whatever it is, soul lesson that you're learning, it's almost like you embodying that Cancer energy, whether you are an actual Cancer in your sun sign, or your moon, or your rising sign. It doesn't matter, because the point of the matter, it just depends on where you have Cancer at in your chart. That's whatever lesson that you are working on. Anyway, so I hope that information was helpful. So you guys stay beautiful, stay blessed, and I wish you all much love and light. And I will be doing a video tomorrow. Tomorrow's my birthday. I will be 48 years old. Whoop, whoop. Anyway, so with all that being said, yes, I embrace my age. But anyway, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully you'll join me for story time with Sonia B. And I will be explaining, well, not explaining, I will kind of give you the watered down version of my spiritual journey that started, I'm gonna say 2018, but I know I was kind of being initiated in 2017 is what Spirit was bringing to my attention. So anyway, so hope you guys, you'll join me for the story time with Sonia B. Anyway, and for those of you who watch my channel and you have not necessarily experienced this spiritual journey, watching or listening to my story will kind of give you some somewhat rundowns of some things that you may find yourself experiencing on your spiritual journey. But again, it could be the same, uh it could be different situations, but the same scenario. So anyway, I wish you all much love, much light, peace, and blessings. Until tomorrow. Bye.